great big spicy hello to all of my favorite listeners. This is Diana Price, and you're listening to Diana's Spicy Business Talk Radio every week, Tuesday, 12 noon for lunch on RMConair.com and spicybusinesstalk.com. Yay! It's so great to have you here. We always have a great time talking about more of what everybody wants. More money, more productivity, more better relationships, more profit, more everything is more. So, we really enjoy grooming leaders and growing you to get more of what you really want in life. Let me tell you what the thought of the day is. We're going to start our program with the thought of the day. And then we're going to get right into my amazing guest that's been a friend for so long. You're going to really enjoy this conversation today. Let me tell you what the thought of the day is. The thought of the day. You ready, Chris? It's up there. The spicy thought of the day. The energy that you emit, it should be on the screen, follow along with this. The energy that you emit will attract a similar energy. If you wear a happy, spicy face, you will get and attract the same. If you wear a victim's face, you will be surrounded by victimization. So you choose how to be you. I'm so excited to have a friend that has been a friend and in my life for a long, long, long time. Sometimes when you have relationships with people, they come and they go in and out of your life and you don't really see them as much as you would like to. But this guy, Butch Charles Grimes, you gotta tell me, he used to tell me, because I always call him Butch. To me, he's Butch. Butch is one of the best thought leaders, one of the most successful, one of the just real down-to-earth visionaries that I've ever met in my life. I want to tell you a little bit about him because today we're going to be talking about his field. He is in real estate, but not only real estate. He is in the business of helping people be unique. He's branded that, and he's going to tell you all about it a little bit later. But today, we're going to be talking about taking control of opportunities and education to get more of the American dream. So Butch is in the seat, and the SEAT is an acronym for speakers, entrepreneurs, executives, authors, and thought leaders. And he's 25 years in the real estate industry, specializing in probate, conservatorships, trust. He's an entrepreneur. He has a talk radio. He's a columnist. And he is a man. He's just a guy. He's just a really good guy. He told me today, he says, Diana, I'm just simple. I don't need all that. I'm just simple. But this simple guy is one of the most impressive guys that I've ever met in my life. Thank you for being here today. Thank you so much for being here today. Butch Grimes. Yay!
You're gonna make me blush, Diana. Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy.
I'm really excited to be here, and I know we've been talking about getting together, and I normally don't get nervous or goosebumps, but I think today I got goosebumps because I was so excited to be here with you.
That's so cool. And it's just to me amazing to see all of the work. It's not amazing. It's just you, all the great things that you've done in the community, all the successes that you had in your life, where you started from, where you are, how you've amassed so much of the American dream. So much. You have such a great story to tell.
Well, and there's a lot more to go. There's more I want. And there's more I want to do. And so I never stop.
Yeah.
Because it's like a shark. We always have to be swimming.
There you go. So where do you get the energy? Where does your energy level, and what do you need? What kind of energy do you need to do what you're doing?
Well, I think, I'm just success driven. I've always been that way. I think it stemmed from my grandparents and my upbringing. My parents have always pushed me to strive to be the best at anything I do, and I set my mind to. And, I always relate back, and I tell kids this all the time. I was an athlete. Used to be.
That's right. You played.
I played football. I ran track in high school. I played basketball, but I played football all the way through college. That put me through school. And I was a decent football player. I think, on some level.
Your description of decent is like awesome.
But, it provided me an opportunity for an education. It also gave me an opportunity to learn some great values that athletics really gives you. And I tell these kids, I said, it's one thing about playing the sport, but later on in life, you'll realize a lot of those little tidbits that you pick up along the way, you will come back and relive later on in life. And especially in business, a lot of the things that I learned in my athletics today have really helped me in business.
You can use those nuggets in your business and your personal life, can't you?
Very much so.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, tell us just a little bit more about your background, because I know that you've been everywhere. You work for some business, some government folks, and so, I get completely, look at this resume is like 5 pages. Now look at the legislator.
And I was hoping. I said, I hope Diana does not try to read my resume, because I don't even know who that guy is. There's too much stuff on there.
It's just so awesome. But
I got to talk to my production people and tell them to cut that down.
Awesome.
When I came out of college, I went to the University of Redlands. When I came out of college, I actually went into the liquor industry.
Did you really?
I was in the liquor industry, and most people don't even know that.
I was going to say I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was in the liquor industry, and I worked for a little bitty company called Kahlua.
Don't even tell me. Just a teeny little company called Kahlua. One of my favorites when I left.
And I worked for a small company at that time called Maidstone Wine and Spirits, which was the most profitable company in the Hiram Walker, which at that time was the second largest distiller in the world behind Seagram's. And I handled all of the urban markets for the brands.
Oh, you did?
Of Kahlua. We had a new cognac called Salignac, and I traveled all over the country promoting and bringing this new brand along with Kahlua to fruition. And so I watched it grow. I was a big part of the brand marketing of it. And today, when I look at it on the shelf, I feel real proud because I said, I helped with that label. I helped put that on the map.
You made that label, I'm sure, because when you started, it was just an introduction.
They hadn't even bought actually, they hired me for the new cognac, and that cognac just took off, and we did some phenomenal things. But the great opportunity there, it took me all over the world. I got a chance to travel, you name it, all throughout Europe and so on, because
with Hiram Walker?
With Hiram Walker and
Hiram
Walker, Kahlua, Cavassier, all those companies that we own. So it was a great opportunity.
How long were you there?
I was there for about 6 years, and then at the same time I was doing real estate.
Oh, you were? So how were you always doing real estate?
Well, see, that's a whole nother story, because my grandparents own real estate.
Oh, they own, okay.
And so when I was a little kid, I used to go with my grandfather to collect rent. I would go with my grandfather to fix pipes and all the little things that homeowners did or landlords did. In those days, we did it ourselves. We didn't hire people to do it. So
it was the kids and the grandkids that came along with the parents to get it done.
Right. And so all those things culminated into the skills that I have today to. Well, I shouldn't say today, because I don't do as much plumbing as I used to. But
you have people that do that for you.
But I still, every once in a while, I will get my hands dirty. But I basically did a lot of the grunt work with my grandfather, and I learned some great skills from that. And that's how I got it right here in South Central. I'm a native.
Really?
There's not many of us left, but because everybody's from somewhere else.
Yes, they are.
But
I'm from here too.
I grew up in Watts, and my folks moved west, and west was 65th and Butline. Never mind.
So they moved west, and that was west.
Right. So during the riots, the first riots, I actually lived in Watts, off of Calmont.
So it's so impressive to hear your story, because people say, well, they have these limiting beliefs. If you don't have anything, you can't get anything. And it's such a mind blower for me to hear people not really have the kind of energy that you have. But you know what? That's what this program, and that's why you're here, to help spread the message and groom and grow people to know that they can have a part of this.
Well, and I also, to you, I think this is really positive because we need more positive energy in our community.
Yes, we do.
We need more positive messages for people to understand, hey, there's unlimited amount of things that you can do, and it's limitless.
It is completely limitless.
And we need to take advantage of it. When you listen to the news and everything we see on the TV is always negative. Even now with reality shows and TV shows.
Right.
But I mean, for you to do what you do, I also compliment you. This is a wonderful thing.
Well, I thank you for that, because it is something. It's a work of love for me. It's you have to serve before you can expect anything else. You just have to be a server. But let's get back to you. Let's get back to you're not flipping the script here. No.
I thought I was going to do a little bit of radio. Now remember, we're both in radio, so it's kind of hard for me.
You know what? This is true. This is an amazing radio show host, as you can see. See how he just flipped the script on me? That's great, Butch. But tell me and tell the listeners about, your experience in South Central with what you were saying. How did that come into the masses, the millions, the success, all the things that you're doing today with your real estate empire, with trust, all the different things? I know you have to start from somewhere. You start with your grandfather,
grandmother and grandfather,
grandma and grandpa. So, what was the first property that you ever owned? How did you get that property?
Well, actually, my first property was a small property on the east side, and I just fell into it. It just I just happened to meet somebody that wanted to sell the house. They were actually losing the house at that time.
Oh, they were.
And they were in hard times. I actually ended up buying their property, and because they had no place to go, I actually let them stay there. Because I really felt bad that they had fallen on hard times.
Did you hear what this guy said? He bought their property and he let them stay there.
It was a duplex. I ended up buying it. I ended up letting the guy stay there. He stayed there for many years. As he got on his feet, he did start paying rent because I felt really bad for him. And then
that really blesses my heart to hear that.
And in addition to that, he passed on.
Oh, he did.
But it made me feel good because it was a situation where I could help somebody as well.
You made a good contribution.
And that was a long time ago, and I laugh because when I still own that property. And
are you kidding? How cool!
Yes, I've always, people always talk about flipping property and buying and selling, and one of my favorite games is Monopoly.
Uh-oh.
And I love Monopoly.
Sounds like real estate Monopoly's coming up.
I love Monopoly because Monopoly is something that you play, and if you hold on to things, you always have leverage to do things in the future.
Play, hold, leverage.
Leverage.
Play the game, hold on, leverage.
Right, because I get folks to ask me all the time and say, well, do you buy and flip property? Well, I have done that, but the majority of the stuff I actually own or I've held on to. Because I've also managed my family property as well as my own property.
Got it.
And I'm just not a believer in getting rid of stuff because you'd be surprised. I like single family homes. I'm not a big apartment person because I like apartments and I have some, but I like single families because if you ever get in a bind, you can always get rid of one house and it doesn't hurt your portfolio.
Oh, how does having a bunch of properties that you get rid of, say a bunch of apartments or duplexes or commercial property, what's the difference in getting rid of that instead of one house?
Well, first of all, when you think about an apartment building is a lot more difficult to finance.
Yeah.
You have to have a larger amount of money down.
Right.
If you needed some money to take money out, is a little more difficult.
Got it.
If you have a single family home, the banks are a lot more lenient to loan against them.
That's a good point.
And if you need to sell something, if I sell one of my houses, it's different than me trying to sell an apartment because at least that's an income producing unit. that single family, it could produce income, but I could always get rid of it, and it doesn't affect my portfolio.
So you'd get rid of your single family first, and you'd hang on to all the income producing stuff.
Yes. Yes.
So that sounds like financial peace of mind that you have. How can someone starting out today get that kind of financial peace and freedom that you enjoy?
Well, the first thing is they need to start. As they always say, it's the start that stops most people.
I like that. It's the start that stops most people.
It's the start that stops most people, and you got to start somewhere. And I tell new homeowners when I do seminars and speak to folks, I always tell them, you got to take the first step. Everybody's afraid to take that first step. And that first step doesn't mean you got to buy something that's over what you really can qualify for. And that's the problem I find, that most new homeowners, and I tell them all the time, homeownership is based on a lifestyle. You have to buy things that will afford you the same lifestyle that you have. Don't go buy something because they tell you, oh, you can afford $500,000 or $600,000. You don't have to buy a $600,000 property. Buy something at $300,000, because the first thing I ask folks is, do you enjoy going to dinner?
There you go.
Do you enjoy traveling?
Yes.
Do you enjoy all the little things that you do on the weekend? Well, you don't want to be married to a house.
And that you will be.
You want to have your lifestyle. Lifestyle first before you purchase anything.
Yeah. So that brings up a question. Okay, I want to go to dinner. I want to take my trips. I want to get my nails done. I want to have my massage. I want to do all those wonderful things that we like to do. Okay, so I can't buy that home in the category that you saw. I'm just giving this as an example. So I don't want to go to, any old neighborhood. So what do I do? And I don't want to drive 200 miles.
You don't, but that's also where you have to understand you, and you also have to understand the market, and you also have to find the right fit.
Yes.
It's all about timing.
Right.
You're not going to start out with this big, beautiful home that maybe has all the bells and the whistles. You may have to start out with a more modest, smaller home that you can fix up, that you can put a little money into, that you can grow, and that you can finally say, hey, this is mine, and you can take steps. It's baby steps. But it's all about planning. I tell folks all the time, plan your day and work your plan. If you plan your day and work your plan, then you can move into what you need to do. Yes.
This is so exciting. We are talking about the Butch Grimes, the recognized, successful real estate thought leader, and I'm so excited. But we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back on Diana's Spicy Business Talk Radio. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Judy Hoberman, president of Selling in a Skirt. I was on Diana Price's radio show, Spicy Business Talk. And let me just tell you, this was the most fun I've had in a long time. Being a radio show host myself, I always look for somebody that does things similar to what I do as far as having a great conversation. Oh my God, in 1 hour, it was a blink. We covered so much information and we had so much fun that I am only hoping that she asks me to come back again. So if you don't know Diana Price, you better know Diana Price because she is phenomenal. Tune in every Tuesday for her Spicy Business Talk, and I'm telling you, you will love every second of it.
Yay, welcome back. We're with Butch Grimes, a thought leader in the real estate industry. I have so many questions for him. I'm like talking in the break. I'm like, no, I want to talk to him right now. So we're going to get right into, well, first of all, did I forget to tell you? I think I forgot to tell you that we're here every Tuesday for lunch, 12 noon on RMConair.com and spicybusinesstalk.com. So we want you to go over to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com Spicy Business Talk, and give us a great big old spicy like, okay? Now, and after you do that, we'd love you to subscribe to our YouTube channel because we're grooming and we're growing and we're teaching people how to get more of what they want out of life. So we need your help. If you could follow and support us, that would be great. So go over to Diana Price Associates Spicy Business Talk. No, is that right, Chris? No, Spicy Business Talk. YouTube Spicy Business Talk. YouTube, Spicy Business Talk, and give us a great big like and subscribe. Okay, now, I have questions for Butch. If you have questions for Butch, call him at 323-965-1600. That's 323-965-1600. Get all the questions. Well, I don't know how many questions, but if you have any questions, just give him a call. So, right now we're going to go into a lot of us. When I started out, I was like, do I want to rent? Do I want to own? Do I want to rent? I don't know. I'm going to save my money. You know, this renting thing, I don't get a write-off. What's the best thing to do when you're starting off, Butch? Rent or own? What did you do? You had a silver spoon in your mouth. No, I'm just kidding.
Never had a silver spoon.
No, you didn't.
I wish I could.
No, you didn't. That is far from what you had in your mouth. But what do you think about that? How do we determine, you know, with the funds that we have, okay, you're already renting and you're comfortable there and you think, that's all I can do. With all the bills I have, how am I going to save to buy a house? So what do you recommend for folks in that?
It goes back to what I was saying earlier. This is where the plan comes in. You got to plan your day and work your plan.
Yeah.
You also have to bring in the necessary advisors to make sure they get you on the right path.
Yeah.
It's something that I remember, you know, Michael Jordan said. He said, regardless of how great I am, I always need a coach.
I always need a coach.
Because the coach helps me. I need a coach. I need somebody that's going to help me go through the minefield and make it through.
Right.
But I tell folks this all the time in real estate. You don't make that journey by yourself.
Yeah.
Because you have to make decisions, and you have to make decisions based on your situation, not my situation.
That's right.
And so when people talk about should I rent, should I own,
advantages, disadvantages?
and there are a lot on both sides. Actually, there's advantages to renting. Homeownership is a privilege. It's kind of like it's like driving.
Yeah.
It's a privilege.
It is a privilege.
Everybody's not cut out to be a homeowner.
Yeah.
But at the same time, being a privilege, you have to be ready for those responsibilities. And sometimes everybody's not ready for those responsibilities. Even though they may have heard it on late night TV, they've seen it, they've read it, they may not be ready. So what's the best option? They do need to rent.
Okay.
They need to rent
start with.
To start out. Renting, there's nothing wrong with renting. And I'm a proponent of home ownership, of course.
Me too.
But there's nothing wrong with renting if you're starting, because it gives you an opportunity to save some money.
That's true.
It gives you an opportunity to see all the do's and don'ts that you don't want to do and don't.
What you don't want to do, what you do.
That's right.
The do-dos and the don't-dos and the don't-dos.
Exactly. And it also, it's kind of a practice session so that you can start moving yourself into the home ownership phase.
There's a lot more commitment oriented.
And some folks are just not ready to take on the responsibility of home ownership.
Yeah.
You gotta. If that plumbing issue happens when you're a renter, you call the landlord.
Can you fix my plumbing?
That's it. When you're a homeowner, oh my God, I gotta find out who's gonna fix. I gotta get somebody to come in and fix this hot water heater that just burst. Those are the differences.
Yeah, absolutely. So, those are real differences for folks starting out. I want to put it in a higher gear. Folks that have properties, either singular or plural, that want more, that want to build and amass. Not really amass, just continue to build. That is a way that's just a great way to have an investment vehicle. Maybe it's going to be, just plain buying more houses. But I kind of want to know that, because I want to figure out how, in my case, I can keep building and buying and building and buying. Is there a strategy to no money down to do that? What are some of the options that you can do in this environment today to really amass more home ownership?
Well, as you know,
more real estate, I should say.
Right, but as you know, the market, the environment's changed.
Yes.
And it's changed for a couple of reasons. In the earlier years, they had all those programs, no money down, pick a pay. They had all the great
these weird things.
Now, you got to have some skin in the game.
Okay.
I've been a believer in that. because nothing ventured, nothing gained. And so if you don't put anything in, it's easy to walk away from it.
Right.
But in this market, as the market started to come back, and the government got involved, and they started regulating, lenders were going out of business. The one thing that they did is they said, okay, one, we want people to have skin in the game. Two, we're going to change and create all these regulations that are going to make sure we protect the system. Well, which made it harder for folks to actually go out and get loans.
Okay.
Now, all of that stuff that we fought against is back.
Are you kidding me? All
of those things,
the crashes that happened with the banks.
All of that stuff, all those
back.
programs are starting to creep back into the market. But there's really no such thing as no money down. You're going to have to put something down. You're going to have their expenses and fees and so on. But I just sold a young lady a house recently, and she only had to come up with $1,500.
Whoa, that's just about no money down.
But what I'm saying is that you got to have something. People think, I don't want to come up with anything. No. But she had good credit.
She had great credit.
She was able to get a grant from one of the
First
agencies.
house, second house, third house.
First house. She lived in an apartment.
Okay.
And she wanted to buy a house.
Great.
And she had 2 jobs. So again, she had 2 jobs. So there was a sacrifice there, and she was complaining the whole way.
Really?
Well, and I kept asking her. This is the first thing I asked her. What's your lifestyle? And she said, well, I like to do this, and my daughter's in private school. And I said, okay, but let's put all those on paper. And once we look at them, let's evaluate and see if we can actually afford a house. Because the one thing you realize is you have 2 jobs. What happens if you lose one? Can you afford to keep that house? That's what people don't really look at.
You have to, because you go in the game and things change.
You got to look at all the variables.
Stuff happens.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
So what about, okay, no money down is not an option.
No, it's not.
I hear you. It's not as option as it used to be. Is it harder to get a loan now? You got to put 20% down in a normal average situation?
No, as I mentioned, a lot of those programs are back.
Coming back.
There's some great grant programs out here through the state.
Only for first-time homeowners?
First-time homeowners.
What about for seasoned folks?
Well, I mean, credit is king.
Okay.
And that's what I tell you. Credit.
You guys hear that? We talked about credit last week. Yes.
You got to have credit. Yes. You are nobody without credit. I mean, that's the bottom line.
That's right.
First thing they look at is
credit score.
They want to see that credit score.
You don't have a good credit score, everything's going up. How much you pay down,
That's right.
Interest rate, insurance that you got to put on your home.
Because the cost of money is going to be based on that score.
Yeah. Okay.
So you got to have that. So once you have that, at least that's a great start.
So do you have any programs that our listeners should know about to try to? We want to know. We want to support guys like you that come from Watts that give our community and our whole world something to dream about.
Well, one of the things is part of putting that team together, as I mentioned before. This is why it's important that you don't make this journey by yourself.
Yes.
That's why it's important that you bring the people around you. We work with a number of lenders that that have different programs. And not to badmouth or say anything bad about the big ones.
Yes.
And I'm gonna be nice to them.
Thank you.
But a lot of times they really don't fit the criteria, and they're a lot more difficult to work with. The smaller companies, tend to be a little more lenient. The mortgage bankers, as well as there are a number of city programs, state programs. It amazes me because even within cities, there's money available. There's federal money that cities have set aside for home ownership, for down payment assistance.
But not for first time. This is for everybody.
There's money available for first-time home buyers. And some cities actually have money available.
Got it.
To purchase, especially if you buy in their city.
So this is so exciting because there's so many folks in our community that really need to buy homes that probably haven't thought about it, but we're putting it on your mind today. If there's something that you can do to start yourself into the mindset of, I need to be a part of this whole process in a good way, in a very positive way. Butch is telling you what you can do and how you can do it. But now I got to take a break. Shoot, I got to be right back. We're going to talk a little bit more about how you can really take advantage of the American dream. So we'll be right back. You're listening to Diana's Spicy Business Talk Radio. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be right back.
Spicy.
Stay tuned.
Are you a diabetic? Need some energy? Need to quench your thirst? Try Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink, the only energy drink named suitable for diabetics by the American Diabetic Association. And it's now available with no calories, no carbs, no sugar, and no fat, and a smooth, natural blend of energy, vitamins, and minerals. Need to quench your thirst? Try Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink, the only energy drink named suitable for diabetics by the American Diabetic Association. And it's now available with no calories, no carbs, no sugar, and no fat, and a smooth, natural blend of energy, vitamins, and minerals. Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink is the healthiest, best-tasting energy drink around. For more information and online ordering with free shipping, please visit hiphopbev.com. Remember, Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink, suitable for diabetics, great for everyone.
Welcome back. This is Diana Price. Thank you for being here on Diana's Spicy Business Talk Radio. You know, today is a topic really near and dear to my heart because it took me, I don't even want to tell you how long it took me to purchase my first home. And it was like Butch was saying, it was a smaller property. I was in graduate school. You know, I had an apartment, but I didn't want that little apartment. So there was another townhouse. It's like an apartment to me, but it was a townhouse. And, you know, I scraped up enough money to buy that thing. But unlike Butch told us today, I should have kept it. No, I sold it to get the next one. I sold it to get the next one. I sold it to get the next one. So he, on the other hand, didn't sell anything. So he has an amass of a great wealth. So the one thing that I want to talk to Butch about today is how, Butch, is your past. It affects everything you do. So how do we filter our life's choices through the lenses of our past?
Well, as I always tell folks, good educations have never come cheap. Mm-hmm. And so things that we've done in the past, we definitely should reflect back and look at, because all of those things bring us to the present. And we learn from that. I mean, I learn every day from the things that I've done in the past. Positive, negative, I've learned from it. So we have to look back at things that we've done and really pick out the pieces that are going to help us in the future.
Because there's some good things.
Oh,
there.
Great things.
There's some really good things in the past, but there's some of those things that really allow our beliefs to be just so limited. And it could be family, it could be upbringing, but there's a lot of things, and I can look back in my life to see, like, why would I buy the property and sell it, and Butch would buy the property and hold it? Now, something in his past with his grandfather, maybe his upbringing, maybe it was just something that came along. It was a life lesson that impacted him. So those are the kind of things we're talking about. What kind of life lessons impacted you?
Well, and that's it. And you're absolutely right. Everybody's situation is different. So when we look at our situation, that's what really determines where we're going to go in the future. I mean, because there are opportunities that I see. That when I was buying property, my first thought was, ooh, I can rent this out, and as long as it's paying for itself, it's debt servicing itself, as we call it, why should I get rid of it? Even though the market goes up and down. And I know a number of people that say, wow, I really hate I sold my property when the market was up, even though they made a grip of money and they moved to Atlanta or Texas because the market was so much lower there. And they bought this big giant house, and now they're down there with the mosquitoes.
And we're having fun. And
we're having fun in the 80-degree weather, fishing.
No humidity.
No, nothing
awesome.
wrong with
Right,
that.
right,
But I always have to tease those folks that are down south of Mississippi and places like that.
That brings up another point. What about buying out of state? I'm talking about any kind of thing out of state. Remember, we want to also not only talk about properties, but businesses that we may want to purchase. What's the difference in buying out of state properties versus here? Better something other?
I just believe that you want to buy things that you know that you can see, touch, feel, keep up with. It's nice to have management companies, and you know, I know a number of people that were going to Florida. Florida was a big market because of the condominiums. They had such a surplus. They were buying things. But how often do you go to Florida?
I don't.
Okay. People were buying in Las Vegas.
I don't.
How often do you go to Vegas?
Right, exactly.
Now you got to rent it out. And now you got to try to make sure the management company is on top of it.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that if that's your temperament.
Right.
My temperament is I want to be able to drive over to it. I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see if the car's on the grass. So I can tell them.
I love that
off.
because then you can go, you can look, you can feel. If your management people are on top of their job,
and they can make a lot of mistakes,
and they can, and you can't really touch and feel them and guide them when they're halfway across the country. However, now you made a statement. You said you want to be somewhere where you enjoy going. Okay, you shouldn't have said that because I enjoy going to international places, to international destinations all around the world.
Right.
I love that.
Right.
I've traveled for years. I think I've been to I've been a lot of places. So how about real estate internationally? What can I do is that something?
Well, again,
that's an option. That's an
how
option.
often? It's an option, but how often are you going to make that trip? You know what? Let's bring it home.
Okay.
Timeshares.
That's a really good point.
Let's bring it home.
That's a good point.
And I talk to people every day that have timeshares that are struggling with them.
Yeah, they want to sell them.
They want to sell them. They can't sell them. Now I know folks that use their timeshare.
Yes.
But how often do they actually use it?
I don't use my timeshare that much.
You're paying on something every month, and there's nothing wrong with it, especially if they have if you can use the reciprocity in other locations.
Yes.
But when you bought this one timeshare in Vegas. And you're going to go back there every year for a week.
But they sell you on, you can trade it, you can do this.
And that's a process.
It is. It is a process.
And try to get rid of it.
Yes, it's a process.
Along with all the thousands that are trying to get rid of theirs.
Right.
So timeshares, I've never been a timeshare person. I love friends with timeshares. Yeah. Because I can always go with them.
You are funny.
I was just fishing recently with a friend of mine. He's got a 100-foot yacht, sport fishing.
Nice.
And so we drove down to Mexico last week and fished.
Did you?
And another friend of mine, we were sitting back in the living room watching CNN in this big, gorgeous boat. And he said, I'm going to give you some advice, Butch. I said, what? He said, always have friends with big yachts. Don't have a big yacht yourself.
Ooh, I like that advice. Always have friends with big yachts.
Because it's expensive.
Don't have one for yourself. It's upkeep. It's do-do. It's do that. It's honeydew. It's
That's right.
My God.
And I have a boat, so I know how expensive it is.
Ooh, what kind of boat do you have? Oh, yeah, you told me.
I actually
you have an awesome boat.
I actually have 2 boats because I'm a big fisherman. I love to fish.
So you have a fisher boat.
I have a boat that I use for fishing that I go long range that I take out 70, 80 miles and fish.
Okay.
And then I have a boat, I call it the Bay Boat. Because
that's the party boat?
That's the boat that I just kind of drive over to kill a shrimp and cruise around to the park, and I can take clients out, and I can stay the weekend. But it's something that I can it's my staycation.
That's your stake. I like that.
It's my version of a timeshare.
Now that's the kind of timeshare I want.
But I can touch it and feel it.
You can touch it and feel it, and you can get into it. You can enjoy it.
Right.
Oh, I love that timeshare idea. Did you guys hear that? This is a whole unique way of being.
Don't forget how to spell unique.
YOU
N-I-Q-U-E.
Tell us about unique.
Well, unique morphed from years ago. I was on a speaking tour, and I had written a book on podcasting, on radio production, and so on.
Do you see what he gave me? My friend Butch wrote this, and he gave me this. I think it's so cool. I want everybody to see. It's called podcasting.
And when I wrote that,
and he signed it for me, but you can't see what he wrote.
It was spicy. It was spicy. So when I wrote this book, one thing I realized is, especially from a marketing standpoint, I wrote it for the real estate community, for real estate agents to understand that they want to have their picture on their car, they want to put it on their flyers, they want to brand themselves.
Yes.
But it's about you before
about
it's anything else. Because people don't buy the house first, they buy
don't.
you first.
They buy the relationship.
That's right.
They buy the connection.
And so that's why you want to be unique.
Yes, I
Not
like that.
UNIQUE, but YOU.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That is so much about my platform in terms of being connecting and being interacting and not transactional, but interacting with people. Exactly. So important. So Unique is one of your brands?
Yes. Yes.
How many brands do you have?
I try to
See,
have.
now I told you he's not only real estate. Here we go. He has so much other going on. Come on.
Actually,
Come clean.
It's funny. Somebody asked me the other day. They said, "Butch, you're so diverse," and I said, that's true, and there's a reason for that. Because I think everybody needs to be diverse. Yeah. I look at people that are in transition. They're out of work. They're looking for jobs. Right. They want to find something else to do. They retire. Yeah. Diversity is great because what it does is it allows you to do something. It puts you in your happy place.
Yeah, in your happy, spicy zone.
And I'm a creator. All my ideas come to me in the shower. All my ideas come to me in the shower. It's amazing because when I get in the shower, it's like. How do you
take notes in the shower? I'd have to be. Where's my iPad? I need to write that
that's
down.
That's a whole nother conversation. But I have to. It's like at night. By my bedpost, I actually have a pen and pad.
Oh, you do?
Because
Me too.
I'm one that wakes up in the middle of the night with an idea, and I then jot it down. I go back to sleep.
You got to document it, yeah.
But it's something about the shower. Maybe it's the hot water that's loosening up
that gets the brain cells
in my brain.
Going. Yeah.
So I always come up with ideas in the shower. But I always tell folks, you got to diversify your life.
Yes, your life. You
can't be one-dimensional. And that also goes with what you do.
Yeah.
With real estate, there's over 400,000 plus real estate licensees in the state of California, and there's millions in the United States. Right. But if you're unique,
unique, YOUNIQUE,
and if you have something that sets you apart, then that's what you want.
So okay, now let me try to figure out. You've written 15 books?
I've written 5 books.
I was close. I got the 5 in there.
I actually have 2 in the workings now.
What's the name of the books? We know podcasting.
Podcasting. I've written 2 on podcasting.
2 on podcasting.
I've written 1 on the business card, and it's called. But all my books had the same title for at one time. It was almost like George Foreman. He named all his kids George. But all my books were called The Brand Unique.
The Brand Unique Way to Business Card.
Or
the Brand
podcasting.
Unique Way to Podcasting.
Right.
The Brand Unique Way to Real Estate. The Brand Unique Way to...
And I only say that is because, for instance, and I'll give you an example.
Oh, how
This
cool.
is my business card.
Oh, I like that.
But this is also my business card.
Nice.
So those of you can see it.
Look.
And what happened is, I would go out to functions and dinners, and people would have 4 business cards. They'd send me, here's my notary card. Here's my real estate card.
And here's my.
And so
here's my. Oh, I want one of those.
So what I did is, I actually came up with an idea.
Even though I have all your digits, I still want one.
And this is when I go to real estate functions.
Sides. Look at this, guys.
But it's not just one business card.
Look at this. I'm telling you, go ahead.
So
look at this.
When I go to real estate functions, I give them the orange card.
You give them the orange card. You have the orange card out for them to see.
And I hand it to them. If I go to a radio function or something that involves radio, I give them my blue card.
I'm going to do that,
But then...
Can I steal your idea?
You sure can.
Yay!
And
That's
then
my friend.
when I sponsor an event, it's a table tent.
Oh, I love it. So then you're getting then this is your advertising.
Right, but then when I do a book signing, let me borrow your book, what happens then, it becomes a bookmark.
Oh, I love it.
And then if you go to Palm Springs and you forget your glasses, Then you can just put it on when you're sitting there and you're relaxing.
But you crazy, you crazy. I love you, but you're so crazy. I love this creative
So I wrote a book.
you.
I wrote the brand unique way to the business card.
This is so
I wrote a
fun.
business card book.
This is so fun. Oh, I love this. And look at this. Okay, real estate broker. Here's all the real estate, the books, the radio show. He's a speaker. Oh, I love it. You have so much to offer this planet. We are so blessed to have you on this planet.
I'm glad to be on this planet.
I know there was a reason we were friends all these years.
That's right, I knew that. And I'm excited to be here. See, this is the first interview I've had in a couple of years because I kind of took myself out of the market for a little while.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I'm so lucky.
Because I had all those creative juices that I had amassed in the shower.
That
I had not.
That you had to make it happen.
That I had to stop and make it happen because I was on the road traveling. And I said, you know what? I'm going to stop for a moment and put these things together. And I was excited to come on air today.
Oh, I'm so happy. We've got to take a break. I mean, it's so tough to take a break. We're having so much fun with Butch Grimes. So you're listening to Diana's Spicy Business Talk Radio. And don't you go away because if you're having as much fun as I am, you won't want to miss a minute, a second when we come back. But we'll be right back. Stay with us.
My experience this afternoon with Diane's Spicy Business Talk was really one that caused me to think. It caused me to process, to hone my message. I've known Diana for a number of years, but this has truly been a business development type of activity, working with her and her radio program and her business consulting. I feel comfortable in recommending to my clients, to the businesses I work with, that if they want to get out there to their customers, to consumers, to new markets, go see Diana and listen to her Spicy Business Talk radio programs on Tuesdays at 12 o'clock noon Pacific time. This is Dr. B.J. Hawkins, licensed professional fiduciary and business turnaround specialist, signing off.
Welcome back. This is Diana Price, and I'm here with one of the funniest guys in the world. Not only is a real estate guy, I mean, did you see? He had these great business cards, which is, I mean, all these things. This business card is like, it's a bookmark. It's a promotional piece for events. I mean, it's just it's sunglasses when you in Palm Springs. Great. I mean, just so amazing. I want everybody, I want all the young people, all the mature people, all the successful people to know your story, Butch. Your story is one that we can all learn and live from and really just internalize so we can have more. We can go out and get more.
I appreciate that.
And you know, I want you to give us some ways that not only, but not right now. Of course, we want to know about all your businesses, how we can work with you, how we can better support you. But I also want to know, you know, what are the top 3-5 things that you would tell business owners about how to proceed to get more?
Well, one of the things is it's expensive to be broke. That's one thing.
I got your T-shirt.
It's expensive to be broke.
It is so expensive to be broke.
And that's for business owners. That's a plus. I mean, you know, diversity is another key word that I think is important because we got to diversify. In addition to you got to do things that you enjoy.
Yeah.
I don't think I do anything that I don't enjoy. I mean, I've been doing real estate for 31 years now.
Have you really? Yo, come on. You hardly look 31 years old, Butch.
I've had a business for 31 years, believe it or not.
You look fabulous.
Thank you. But other than, we talked about the past. Other than I want to lose some weight and get back to my old player's weight.
And see, that's one of those plans and work your plan kind of deals, right?
That's right.
You got to work your plan.
It's tough.
It is tough.
There's some good food in this town. And I love to cook.
You have. That's right. I forgot you love to cook. I have had some of your cooking. How could I forget that you love to cook? Oh my God.
I love to cook.
So that means I'm going to need a spicy recipe from you that we can brag about on this show. This is Butch's spicy recipe. I can't wait to get that. Yay! Absolutely. So Butch, you have to do what you want to do, right?
You got to do what you enjoy. All the things that I do, I really enjoy. And one of my biggest, I have two big hobbies.
You do?
Fishing and golf.
Fishing and golf.
I love those two, and because
don't you play tennis?
No,
tennis is my racket. I like tennis. You don't play tennis. I've been introducing all my tennis friends, and you don't play tennis. What's
Diana? Now I'm gonna tell you a quick story. You're one of the main reasons why I stopped playing tennis.
What?
Because you invited me to a tennis tournament years ago.
I sure did.
And I came out.
I remember.
And I had the greatest time. It was the ABWP.
The ABWP.
Association of Black Women Physicians.
Association of Black Women Physicians.
I met a phenomenal woman there. And Dr. Cheryl Root.
He met my friend, Dr. Root. Hi, Dr. Root.
And I actually, I tore my Achilles at that tournament.
Oh, I remember that now.
I tore my Achilles.
I completely remember that.
And I had the operation. I'm back. I'm fine.
Oh.
But the first thing I did when I got back is I put my tennis racket on eBay.
You put your tennis racket on eBay.
And I haven't picked it up since.
With that, we better talk to our. We've got a caller on the line. Hi, thank you, caller. Thank you so much for being with us today, caller. This is Diana Price, and you're listening to Diana's Spicy Business Radio with Butch Grimes. Who do we have on the line today?
Hi, Diana. It's Andrea James. How you doing?
Hi, Andrea. I'm awesome.
I already had the program up from some other shows, and something said, just tune in, and I saw your beautiful face.
Oh, Andrea.
And she had Butch Grimes. Butch Grimes and I were Facebook friends, but I don't know anything about him other than what I see on Facebook. And these books of his, I need to get them. His business cards, I like that idea, and I definitely would like to network and collaborate with Mr. Grimes.
Absolutely. Mr. Grimes, you got a caller that is just awesome on you.
Thank you very much. Great.
Oh, thank you for being there. And the fact that you two are friends and the show is so professional, the way you're bantering back and forth, and the long-standing friendship, and it's such an, easy-flowing show that I had to stop. Diana's always outdoing herself when it comes to the guests. And so far, the guest you have sitting across from you, Diana, I think is one of the best so far.
Andrea, you are just
thank you very much.
Thank
I appreciate
you so much for those kind words.
Those
and I think really kind words. And now we're going to have to get Butch to tell her how we're going to be in touch with you.
Well, I think that just shows you how powerful social media is.
Yes.
It has really brought so many of us together.
Right.
I meet so many people on the street every day that say, "Hey, Butch, I'm your Facebook friend." I'm like, "Okay."
Hi. Hi.
And this is just wonderful because this is where we can all start sharing and communicating,
right?
And really doing some powerful things together.
That's, matter of fact, that's what I do. I connect people with people, people with business, and business with business. Matter of fact, Diana, I went to Lula Davis Holmes' 2014 Carson Jazz Festival. That's where you and I physically met each other.
And I met Andrea. Oh my God, that's been
right. I think it was 2011. And when I was there this past Saturday, I brought a friend of mine that's here from Chicago, a young black inventor that is here saving lives. Oh. And I made a connection. And if he hadn't been with me, the person I was connecting him with, we didn't even know about until we got there. So I thought about when I was standing on that little hill, I said, oh, my gosh, I met Diana here.
you met Diana. I mean, you met right there. What a small world, and it's so awesome to have you as a part of our community, Andrea. You do so many awesome things for our community, and so all of our friends that are, we call it in the seat, like Butch is in the seat. The speaker. The seat is an acronym, as you know, for speakers, entrepreneurs, executives, authors, and thought leaders, and you're part of that group, Andrea, and we really appreciate that. And of course, Butch is at the top end of the group. He is just catapulting. And that's why we want people like Butch and Andrea, like the people. Andrea has given us some awesome people to have on the show as well. So we really appreciate the support you have, Andrea. And thanks for telling all your folks about it. And I'm getting the high sign. That it's time.
I've seen that sign before.
Andrea, thank you so much for the call. And we're going to have Butch tell not only you, but all of our listeners how we can get in touch with you, how we can learn more, how we can support what you're doing.
Well, you can go to my website at butchgrimes.com. I am also releasing a new radio network.
24/7. I love that 24/7.
WTR 247.
Very
We Talk
cool.
Radio 247. That will be released in the next month. Mm-hmm. We have some great speakers and hosts, and we're hoping. I know we got to get you on there for sure.
We'll be happy to come.
And my phone number for those of you is 310-693-4681, and you can go to my new site, which is called Provocative Thoughts. We have a T-shirt line that just came out. As you can see, It's expensive to be broke.
I'm going to show everybody the one you gave me.
And I brought a special one for Diana today that says...
Look at this. It says,
that says, I'm single, not
says,
married, in a relationship, don't do drama, but on the backside...
Then it says...
But you can call me anytime. And we have over 40 different designs.
You can call me anytime.
We have over 40 different designs.
So cool.
And it's called provocativethoughts.net. And we have some great little sayings like, aging parents are expensive.
Aging parents are expensive.
I need a woman that gets tired when I get tired. No. And there's some fun things.
Just a lot of fun.
Just a lot of fun
having
things.
Fun.
Having fun.
Doing business, having fun, making money, getting more of what we all want.
And Diana, I want to just tell you, thank you for having me. This has been fun.
Great.
I'm excited. I don't even know how I'm going to go back to the office. My folks are going to say, oh, my God.
You've been having too much fun today. Well, I got to tell you, Butch, I want you to tell us one more time about just a quick list of what you think we should all do. Top 3 to get more from the American dream.
Well, one,
Top 3.
Have fun.
Have fun.
You got to have fun. I mean, you got to enjoy yourself.
Have fun.
You got to have fun. The second thing is diversify.
Diversify.
Please, everybody, diversify, because you got to have other skills. You got to hone in on those things.
So true.
You got to diversify your business. And the last is become spiritual and become connected and make sure that you believe. And you got to believe in yourself, and you got to believe in God.
That's right. You have to believe in yourself. God is the CEO of my life, and He has to be.
We're never too busy.
Never too busy. You know what? Just real quick, I don't know if we have time. Chris is probably going to say, no, we got to go. But Sunday, Butch, I got baptized.
I saw that.
Did you see that?
I saw
I
that.
got immersed in the water. It was so cold. It was like, it was all freezing. But I feel so good. I feel so blessed. You know, there's a lot of things in the past you want to leave behind and just kick out and eject from your life. There's some things that need to be there.
Right.
But it's like you said, you got to have a brand new feeling. So I've got a brand new way of being and thinking, and I feel like I'm just a brand new person. So
that's right.
Very cool.
And take all that positive energy throughout the day with you every day.
Every single
Leave
day.
that negative stuff.
Leaving all that
at
catabolic stuff.
Leave it at the door.
Out.
That's right.
Leave it out. But it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, my friend,
for
being here. And thank you guys. I hope you got a lot of nuggets. I know you got a lot of nuggets that you can use in your business and your personal life. If you need to contact Butch, you know his digits one more time, Butch.
310-693-4681. 888-848-4681.
And if you need to contact us, you know that you can reach us at 866-631-7500 or go to any of our social media, facebook.com, Diana Price Associates, facebook.com, Spicy Business Talk, LinkedIn, and like us and keep us with you. And if you want anything to do with your business, we'll give you a free 30-minute strategy session. If you put 30-minute strategy session in the email us at info@dianapriceassociates.com. Have a fabulous week and stay spicy.
And
Bye.
be unique.
And be unique. Be unique.
That's right.
Say it again, Butch.
Be unique.
Be unique.